The funeral industry plays a critical role in supporting families during some of life's most difficult moments. But for years, concerns have been raised about the need for stronger regulations and standards within Jamaica's funeral home industry. We're joined by Chairman of the Manchester Municipal Corporation's Health Committee, Mariam Mitchell, and President of the Jamaica Association of Certified Embalmers and Funeral Directors, Calvin Lyn. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. What's the major concern coming out of the funeral industry, Sir Calvin?
I would say that it's something that goes far back. In the 80s, late 80s,
Wow.
an association was formed to make representation to the government to regulate the industry. It fell by the wayside. A group of funeral directors took it over sometime there in the 90s. Nothing happened. So, near home, sometime in 2016-17, some of us decided that something has to happen because the situation was getting out of hand. Too many unregulated, untrained funeral operators, meaning that we would want to see the dignified situation exist and continues. It's a dignified profession. And when you are a trained funeral director and trained in mortuary science, you are saying with pride, I know how to take care of the deceased body when the time comes.
But how do they advance in the industry by not being trained and not receiving the licensing?
The lack of regulation, whereby somebody would just go by Companies Office of Jamaica, register a business, and they rent a shop at a plaza, and they rent vehicles, and say...
Impossible, Sir Lyn. No way. Are you serious?
Yes. Many
so
don't have a shop.
So no minimum required standards, no...
Because of the lackadaisical behavior of the government from 2017, when I, as president of JSFD, with members been making representation.
Because we see an article here from 2019 where Minister Tufton admitted that the regulations were lax and that the government had waited long to do something about it and that it was time. But that 2014 is still 12 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. 2014, August, the draft regulation.
2019, actually, this was dated. Yes, go ahead, sir.
2014, the draft regulation was signed by then Minister Ferguson and technocrats. We took that to the ministry. And we had meetings with the minister himself, the current one, Minister Tufton. We were invited to a meeting over by Kemanas Gardens, Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2020. Officers from the Ministry of the Health were there. They showed us copies and circulated same of the 2014 draft, which they amended. We went as far as for the public health department with the MCs to do their due diligence, inspect the premises whereby you need to have a permanent location if you are to provide the services with the training by an accredited organization body. Okay. Now, nothing has happened since. Let us hear from Jays, signed by me to them. I go further by saying, up to late 2023, I was told by a senior officer from the ministry that is not the Ministry of Health that is responsible for the draft or to take the regulation to Parliament. It's the Ministry of LG, local government. Bam, I wrote on to Minister Mackenzie. No, not me. Bam, back to the Ministry of Health. No. Nothing done.
Oh, boy.
I even sent a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister. I have them in my folder there, I can show you.
Mario, so we mentioned local government, that's you. How does local government fit into this?
I've been a councillor since 2016. Since I've been a councillor, it has been on the order paper, and I became the chairman after the last local government election of the health committee. It's always been. And each time there's a meeting, there's the update from the ministry. There's no updates. And when I did the research, there's been no regulations. Funeral homes continue to pop up all over Jamaica. It's unregulated. We have health concerns. And when you have health concerns, to deal with somebody who is a disease. It has serious health
No,
concerns.
understand.
There are
Me no
sanitary issues, there are transportation issues, there are storage issues. These funeral homes pop up just by registering a company, but there's none at all, no regulations.
Just saying I'm a funeral
Nothing
home?
at all. Now, when you have the concerns that we have, is that there's misidentification. There have instances where wrong bodies have showed up at funerals. And public health, having something like this is a public health concern. That's why we're calling, and that's why I'm calling. And all the councils have it on their order paper. So, as Mr. Lyn said, it was sent to the ministries and the ministers. Nothing has happened. And we are calling that this industry be regulated, because this is a serious public health issue.
Tell me so people here talking about serious public health issue, they don't understand.
They don't, because...
So let's break it down. What are
Because
some
what
of the
Mr. Lyn has
breaches that
said...
you're seeing?
There you go. What Mr. Lyn has said is that there has to be issues of a certified embalmer that is there, and there are issues with that itself. As it turns, transportation is an issue.
When you said, so they're not embalming the body properly?
They are embalming the body, but we're asking that what is happening is that these people form these companies on paper. They don't have storage, they don't have transportation, they don't have a place of business itself. And it is serious health concerns that are there. So we talk about the misidentification. We have transportation issues. We have issues in terms of how the body is released itself. And there have been myriads of stories about it. There have been funerals across Jamaica where their wrong bodies have showed up, or they brought the wrong body to the funeral. We have concerns about how you embalm and how you deal with the process of that. There's even the process of release itself. So it's a serious health concern. And it is unregulated, and there's nothing on it. And we're calling that there be a body established, a regulatory body that deals with this. We're calling that there are standards and protocols in place to regulate them, including maybe once you form the body, there should also be something open in terms of communication where people can lodge a complaint, people can state what the issues are. And there also needs to be disciplinary recourse as to how you get that done. And that's where we were calling for these measures to be put in place for the public safety.
So who can shut down these organizations that do not have the...
As it stands right now, the Ministry of Health come to my committee meeting and report. They can't do it. If you open a restaurant or a bar, you have to have specification like wash hand station, preparation of meat station, all of these things.
And hairdressers?
There is none for this industry. No regulations, nothing at all. The health persons do not go to these places. So I'm calling for yearly inspections, sanitation, code and conduct, and everything that is set out in the minimum standards. There must be protocols, and Jamaica must get its acts right to get the protocol going. It is of deep concern.
It is also shocking to me
not many persons
because I've interviewed people who have gotten their certification at the highest level.
Yes.
I always felt that you had to have this, Sir Calvin. So what are some of the policies and things about licensing and certification?
One of the things is that we're trained abroad.
Yes.
We saw it as a service, a dignified profession to offer that service because it is a must. Mm-hmm. Okay. So those who just rush in, as Council said earlier, rent a vehicle, so they want to make a quick money. Mm-hmm. We are in it for the long haul. Places been there operating for nearly 100 years in city. Another one, our establishment would be 52 years going last March. So we are prepared. We have a passion for it because it is with pride when relatives come in. So-and-so, the view like a day or two before, Mama body looks so lifelike and things like you feel good because the presentation helps to cushion the grief.
Where we go from
It is a serious health concern, and what I'm calling for is that the regulations be put in place and put in place as quickly as
By whom though, man?
By the government itself. Because
yes,
the
government, but Mr. Lyn said health, said local government. Right. What are you expecting?
It is on the local government because it's a council issue, so it is on our order paper as a Ministry of Local Government issue at the councils itself. But it should be a collaborative effort with the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
Because of the health implications.
Exactly.
What came out of that meeting, both trained and untrained were invited, that the public health people would inspect your premises up to standard, you get your certificate, and you would go to the municipal corporation and pay your fees. Even dollars were suggested at that meeting. So we had reached somewhere, but nothing since then.
How many players do we have in the market now?
Hundreds, maybe thousands. Hundreds. If you go to rural Jamaica, you will see that these funeral homes, they pop up in various communities. There's basically one for every community across Jamaica. There are plenty. And what we're calling that the regulations be done, and it be done as quickly as possible. We're not calling that we should have a strike down on the industry. We're calling because there are persons there who are reputable, who continue to deal with people with compassion. What we're calling is that the regulations and protocols and the health standards be put in place to the benefit of all Jamaicans.
Even within the draft regulation, it stipulates that you have your finances, you're going to operate a funeral business. You, the owners, the investors, might not be trained as the mortician.
Right.
But if you have a trained mortician certified by the authorities with the certificate there, then you would be
So you're
permitted.
saying people without training are embalming bodies, are...
No, what is
Look,
that?
I can say this, sir. I got a call from one of my members yesterday to say that there's an hospital, 2 porters are operating funeral businesses. They just hire a vehicle here, they store it where I don't know. It is that bad.
What I'm aware of is that these persons rent some facilities. What they will do is to use the older funeral directors to use them as storage because they don't have storage, which is a major issue and a major health concern how to store bodies. So they rent a facility and they give it to probably older persons, older players in the industry to store the body. They rent the vehicles and they show up at funerals. Now my concern is that you show up at a funeral and there are issues, there are health concerns that are there. So we must get the industry right.
Well, we got to go. We're out of time, but certainly, you know,
It's a serious-
really,
I would
that's
just
serious.
seize the opportunity to call on the government, whether it be health ministry, local government, whichever, just decide and regulate the industry so that we have decency, because relatives call on us.
And put the protocols
And
in place. Put the
complain
protocols and the measures in
oftentimes.
place.
All right, we got to follow up this one through our newsroom and see what happens. But thank you both for, you know, continuing to bring attention to what is a critical issue in our society, and we hope that
Public
it's going to
health
be
issue.
resolved soon. Chairman of the Manchester Municipal Corporation's Health Committee, Maria Mitchell, and President of the Jamaica Association of Certified Embalmers and Funeral Directors, Calvin Lyn. Up next, healing after the hurricane.
I can't believe it.